Oh, you didn't record that? That would have been really funny.
You know what? It's when we get 5 people on. Wasn't it like the 5 or 6 people was like the thing that we figured out last time?
It was the 6th person. It always made him sound like shit.
Brandon, talk now.
I think we need new software.
No, it's just been Brandon. I don't understand what the problem is.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. It is Shane. I'm here with you on a Sunday night when we record. You might be listening in your car any night of the week, or you could be watching on YouTube here on 5 Idiots Talking Toys channel. So thanks very much for joining us. Please follow us on your favorite podcast app, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and comment. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Let us know how you like to conduct yourself, what things that bother you in the groups, because we are going to talk about collector page etiquette. The guys are here. Brandon is joining us. Christopher is locked and loaded. Charles is here, and John is in the center. What's up, fellas?
Oh, hey, Shane. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Shane. Mic
Shane.
check. Mic check 1, 2.
Hi, Shane. Any better?
Mic check 1, 2.
100%.
Yeah.
Testes. 1, 2.
Testicles.
3.
Testicles. 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
There he
Nice.
is.
It's good. It's good.
We got
You all right, Charles? Indigestion?
you.
So a little late July
fed the
come up
rats,
there.
Brandon?
What's that?
You fed the rats finally, running around the wheel for your internet to work?
Yeah,
Yes. Correct.
correct. Look at that travel mug. Wow.
What's in it? Tea?
Green tea.
Green tea.
You can get that travel mug yourself.
At
If you go to
t-shirts.com.
5idiotstalkingtoys.com and click on our merch shop. You could pick any one of our pieces of artwork, like on Charles's shirt, and put that on. Slap it, as Charles says. Slap it on a travel mug. All right. So, guys, we're here to talk about collector group or page etiquette today. How to conduct yourself on the pages. Not that we're telling people how to conduct themselves, but for newer collectors who are watching, for collectors who are always in Facebook jail, maybe you could learn something or a thing or two. For the folks who have been booted out of one group and are still in some others, maybe you've learned a lesson.
Corey Brunel.
Boot.
Das Boot.
And, as we said, we don't have that problem on our group because ours is just a sales page and only we can make posts. So we don't really have that on ours. It's more of a private page, but...
Yeah, we have it set up as a group for the privacy aspect of it, but it's really a sales page. It's the 5 of us. It's also John Rula, the action figure grader, who puts up graded comics and graded modern items and some other things occasionally. He's done some charity posts where he's raising some money. So we're always doing some fun stuff there, live sales and whatnot. So please join us at rogue5toys.com. But yes, our page is us posting. Folks can comment on those posts, those sales posts. And people are pretty respectable and reserved there. We like to keep a family-friendly group. But we're here to talk about the open, the more wide open collector forums, the groups and the pages. John, you've had some thoughts recently about this. Before I throw it over to you, I'm just going to remind everybody, we've talked about etiquette a little bit before on this show. We've done about 100 episodes now that you can find on our channel. You can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. But if you go back, episode number 60, we talk about sales etiquette. So if you are selling collectibles, we talk a little bit about sales etiquette, about bidding etiquette on sale posts, and even more so about the bidding on episode 71, which is specifically about deal or no deal etiquette.
How do you know that?
Because we did our homework.
I have all of them memorized.
We did homework. We did research.
Hey, Brandon, while you were hand feeding the rats to run around the freaking thingamajiggy so your internet works, we were looking it up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do not recall
Charles,
the numbers.
it's not a rat. It's a gerbil, something that you're familiar with.
Let me set the scene for everybody.
Please.
So here's the anger that John has with this. So 30-mile-an-hour zone, you're with your family, 30 miles an hour, you're driving, right? Some freaking pickup truck behind you. You look back, it's Shane. The guy looks like Shane with a beer. He's drinking Coors Light. He's throwing the bottles out of the window. He passes you on the 1-lane road. 50 miles an hour. He whips around you. He cuts you off. He almost kills you and your family.
Wait.
That's what John Walden feels when he looks on some of these Facebook sites.
Hey, but I think, is it Shane with his New Jersey license plate living down in Georgia? Cuts him off?
That's what it'll be. It'll be. You're making me think of the opening scene of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. When
Exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Exactly
trying to get the Christmas tree, and those hillbillies in the truck are smacking on the brakes in front of them. Oh, it's the best. Kiss my. What does he say? Kiss my
White Christmas.
Eat my dust.
Yeah.
Eat my dust.
Eat my
Kiss
rubber.
shorts.
Liver lips. All right, let's jump in. John, I'm going to throw it over to you for our third etiquette episode. Now about page etiquette. What's something that jumps to the front of your mind that is a bugaboo or a grinding of gears for you?
You wanna move your camera like 19 more times? You good or?
Oh, there he goes. All right. Well, the four of us are going to talk about page etiquette.
His gerbil ran away.
So I think one of the biggest things is when people just jump on to hijack comments. Whether it's like a sales post, or we've talked about sales before, or just a hijacking of comments and look at me, that sort of thing kind of grinds my gears. That, and also making other people feel like they're whatever they're they've acquired for the collection or whatever is more insignificant. Try to make it insignificant.
It's selling for that price? Man, I should sell mine.
Oh yeah. That's another one.
That's a hated one. I bought that 8 years ago for $5. I can't believe it. It's like,
why is the guy that's always doing this? He has to be a hillbilly.
Oh, it's always because Charles, he's in his 50s. He's living in his basement. He's fat. He has a beard.
He's naked.
He drives a pickup truck from the 1970s.
Drives a pickup truck. drinks Bud Light or
oh, don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Yeah, they're off of Bud Light right now. Don't you dare! All of what we're going to talk about is going to kind of circle back to the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
Treat people how you want to be treated, but that doesn't work for everybody. Like, you can't say that to some people. Some people do not care. They want to, act and talk how they want to talk. They don't care how, and then they're also the same people who don't care how they get treated. They just want to stir the pot, right?
I love when someone does like a listing, and I'm just going to like throw out something completely random here. And a guy will be selling like an IG88 12-inch doll.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the comments will be, "Do you have a Jawa 12-inch?"
Oh, gosh.
The guy is selling an IG88, guy. Why are you asking questions about a Jawa? If you want to know if this guy is selling a Jawa, here's what you can do. You can PM the guy and ask him. Not do it on a sales post. Or you can maybe wait 5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour. Maybe he'll list one later on.
Yeah.
You don't need to always say, "Hey, do you got this coming up?" It's so annoying.
Or the guy that then follows that and he says, he'll respond back. A seller respond back and say, like, no, I don't have it. And some other guy is like, oh, I have one of those. Send me a PM.
Send me a PM.
Hijacking it. Hijacking the sales post.
Right.
Now you just use someone's sales post to sell your item, and it's absolutely so rude.
Yeah.
I would only, if in that instance, if I ever did that, I would only PM the person.
Correct.
But I've only ever done that. I can't even think of an instance, but I know I have. The only time I've ever done that is if I've seen the person already post like 3 things within that same small category. Like if I saw 3 12-inch figures, then I might PM the person and say, do you have this 4th one? Because it's obvious to me that they're selling a small collection. But yeah, I mean, you want to stay on topic on posts, right? Is that an easy way to put it?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely stay on topic.
That's certainly the goal. It's just so hard to do with these, some of these people that just have absolutely no sense of direction.
If you're looking for something and you want to do it in a public way, such as posting a comment where the public can see it in the group, you can either make your own post. A lot of groups allow that, saying, willing to buy or in search of, or you can wait for Wanted Wednesday, Find It Fridays. I mean, every group's got like some version of that.
I hate those.
I know, but like for the people who
all
are searching for stuff that's not common, and for the people who have a lot of stuff and use those to sell some things without posting it themselves.
I mean, yeah, I don't use it myself, but it is useful for the groups and for most of the people. Like, let's just say, for instance, like a guy just joins Facebook. He doesn't know anyone. He doesn't know to message me, Brandon, Charles, or any other sellers out there. He's looking at these listings for Wanted Wednesdays and Find It Fridays. That's what he depends on. He doesn't know.
Sucker Saturdays.
Sucker
You ever
Saturdays.
see that one?
Yeah.
You see that one?
What is it?
Sucker Saturdays.
That's on that's the Corey Bruneau special.
Yeah, they rip you off.
I like wash your hands Wednesdays.
I've done like Wanted Wednesdays, and I've made a post, and I get like so many PMs, like, "Oh, you're looking for like mint, like Luke Jedi, whatever it is." They send me photos, and there's like no arm on it, and like, yeah, this is uncracked and it's mint, and like, it's such a waste of time. It really is huge waste of time.
If I'm looking for something like very, very common, like a small lot of figures or something, like there's certain things that it's helpful for, because somebody will contact you, and send you a picture of a pile of figures laid out. Like that could be helpful. It takes some of the work off my plate if somebody reads that and has some stuff to get rid of. But other than that, it's useful for very specific things. Like if you're looking for a Lily Letty, blaster of some kind. Like
Letty.
That's not easy to find. And if somebody reads that, then so be it. And they can sell it to you.
Here's one thing that gets me is someone wants like a whole bunch of beaters, and they want 27 photos of each beater. They want like the side, the feet, from the top, from the bottom, from the back. Like it's a beater for a reason.
It's a $3 figure.
Eat the shit out of the thing. It's $3.
Well, I'll tell you this though, to go along to piggyback on that, I've posted and asked for what I've posted and asked for beater C-3POs or R2D, like something specific, and then I'll have somebody message me like, hey, I got almost like a drug deal. It's so funny, like I got what you need, and I'm like, okay, and then they send a picture, and you're like, okay, yeah, send a picture or two. Like I don't ask for more pictures. I'm like, yeah, all right, that's cool. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? And then you find out like, oh yeah, the C-3POs are $16 a piece. And you're like, like they're missing chrome and stuff. And you're like, do you not know what a beater is? Like, and it's okay if you don't, but it's people that I know their names, so I do know that they know what a beater is. It's like, no, I'm not looking to buy $16 figures. That's not what the post was. So it's a waste of time. It's a waste of both of our time. So you want to also, be thoughtful about that kind of stuff. Like, don't bother people if it's not really what they're looking for.
Yeah, it seems like this whole idea that social media has become, it's kind of like crept its way into these groups. You know,
Oh yeah.
there are people who think that everybody needs to hear what they have to say.
So maybe starting our
And-
own app isn't a bad idea.
And that's
Well, seeing the other apps, they don't work. No one's paying.
No, that
They're not
fails.
paying. No one's going to pay.
yeah.
I've seen a few different apps out there for different things, like for selling, for buying, for tracking stuff, for seeing like the history of eBay prices. And I'm talking about going back to when I was collecting modern too. I'm not just talking about vintage, but seeing a history, which is helpful and stuff. But to make these apps pay, to pay to play, basically, like you have to pay for these apps right off the bat.
It's pay to buy.
The people that start them are just, they don't know what they're doing, because you got to get an audience first. Like if you make it free and it's helpful, there's some good quality or good aspects to it, and you can get an audience and like a base of people using it first, then you can. I mean, Facebook is still free, but
Doesn't someone who has half a brain starts an app, it's free. It's free for like a while.
Of course.
You suck all the people in, they're using it, then you slowly start to charge. You can't start an app and then charge from the very, very beginning. It's
right.
No one's going to use it. Like, why am I going to pay you so I can buy something? Stupid.
Do you know how long people talked about?
Correct.
Do you know how long people talked about, like, Facebook is going to start charging at some point because they're going to go public, and how are they going to make money? It's still free. They found out another way to make a revenue stream. But before they even had advertising on Facebook, it was free because that's how it worked. Nobody would sign up for it if it wasn't free. So,
selling your members' information is way more lucrative.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, taking your advertising dollars and selling your info. All right, so what else? What else do we see that we can talk about in the?
I like when I see a listing and it goes like, "Don't look any further. Absolutely mint. Will grade high. Beautiful figure, minus the thumb missing on the left hand and the huge paint rub on the back." Why do you do this huge buildup of like all good things, and then right at the end you put this like big bomb at the end? It's like, guy, you don't need to do that. Just say it's a Luke Jedi with a hand rub. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say this person. I'm not going to say his name. But every post he makes, he's selling something. He says, last one sold on eBay, $450. I'm only asking $400. Like, guy, $450 on eBay. The guy is getting less than $400. He's losing 14% fees. He's getting less than $400. You're still asking more than that, and that's on eBay. That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Every listing, same thing. If you have to prove of why you're asking what you're asking, no one's going to buy it. There should be no proving.
Correct.
Also, for me, I know like when I'm doing a sale, I never put the sob story or a sad story in the listing. If you want to sell an item, just list the item and sell it. It doesn't need to be, I need to get car repairs selling this. My house burnt down. My dog needs a new leg. I'm taking my cat to the dentist bill. Like, college tuition for John Rula. No one cares. Just post the item that you want to sell. Leave the sob story out of it.
That never plays a part in whether or not I'm going to buy that item.
Correct. No. At least not for me either.
It's more likely that I'm not going to buy it.
Yes, same with me.
What actually plays a part is every time I've had money stolen from me, and that's not that many times, but it's been a few times someone stole my money on Facebook. It was that. It was they need money for their son's birthday party or something. They stole my money every time.
I'll take it one step further. My lesser favorite than even that is my coffee table needs a new leg sale. Part 9. Like they've posted 8 of that before. Have you seen that? Like
I haven't. No.
no, yeah, they'll post the same like sob story all week long, every day, multiple times a day, selling a new lot of things. But it's like part 9, part 8. It's like
someone was selling a whole bunch of things, like a lot of things, because their cat needed like surgery or something. Like listed so many deal or no deals. At the end, he or she, they got the money for the surgery and they never ended up selling anything. It was just a huge waste of time. Like all these deal or no deals over like surgery for a cat that never ended up selling anything. Like what a waste of time.
I think it had to
meaning like he didn't accept any bids.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He closed all of them. It's like such a waste of time. Same as like Brandon. He's wasting our time. Your microphone doesn't work. Stop signing on. And he's back.
There he is. Yeah. He's wasting time.
Can you see Brandon in the green room before he comes in, or is that just me and John?
No, we can't
see him in the green room.
Oh, it's so great. His head's been bopping in there for a few minutes now, a couple different times.
Brandon's having some technical difficulties. So.
Brandon had his head sideways at one point. Did you see that, John? His square was this. His face was really close.
I don't know. I think I'm waiting for my wife at this point.
You think you're what?
You think of what?
I'm just hiding from my wife at this point.
He's watching the show, guys, in the garage.
Oh God!
All right. Well,
is there anything, Brandon? Is there anything that you wanted to add
about page etiquette?
No.
All right.
Okay.
I think Brandon is just furious right now.
A man, a few words.
Well, I will go back to something.
I was gonna mention the Rula. I was gonna mention the Rula stuff for whatever the college tuition thing, but you already covered it.
Yeah. Oh, I completely listen. I completely made fun of him. I messaged the shit out of him right when he did it, during it, afterwards, and I still joke. I will send him a random message and say, like, my cat needs to go to the dentist. Can I borrow $10? Like, just to bust his balls.
I didn't even see it. What was it?
He sold his Vinyl Cape Jawa to raise money for his nephew.
Really?
College tuition.
You mean one of his 30 that he has in his office upstairs?
Well, yeah. He actually only has one, and he only has one nephew who's like 8 months old. So he's starting a college fund.
He's selling a Vinyl Cape Jawa for an 8-month-old.
He's not going to college?
He's got 17 years.
Well, he also sold something else, so he actually donated $5,000.
That if he just held on to the Vinyl Cape Jawa, by the time he goes to college, it'll be worth $10,000.
Yeah, I don't get it.
All right, well, we're gonna have him on to interview him soon about that. Get to the bottom of it. I just want to jump back to something that one of you guys said a few minutes ago. For the collectors who sell, or maybe some collectors who are newer to selling and are going to post up some things for sale, and they haven't done a lot of that before in the groups, take that as some advice. Whoever said it a few minutes ago. Be careful when you're describing stuff. Don't oversell it. If you're going to say something is mint and talk about grading, and you've never graded figures before, you've never sent figures in and gotten them back, and if you're not really, really confident with what you're saying on a sales post or how you're describing your item, just reel it in a little bit. You don't need to oversell it. The people that are in the groups, if you take good pictures, we can see what it is. And if it's an expensive item and we need another picture or two, we'll message you. But
talking about photos, Shane, just to cut you off.
Yeah.
As a guy that like whites out every picture.
Yes.
A white out picture guy. He takes the greatest pictures in the world, but they are like completely white.
It's almost like he has a separate app to take the pictures, because I fooled around one time. I was like, how does he get an R2 or like how do you get them so white? And I couldn't do it. And I'm a graphic designer with photo editing software, but on my phone, just with the iPhone, I couldn't do it. It has to be an app or something.
About 6 months ago, someone bought a loose figure from that guy, and I was friendly with the person who bought it. So I messaged him like a few weeks later and said, hey, like, how was that figure? Like, was it really as nice? And he goes, no. Not even close. He's like, it's nice, but it's like 80 nice. It's not 95 nice.
And the prices are always at,
90,
it's an understatement to say a premium.
Correct. Yeah.
They are top dollar prices, like maybe the highest prices in most of the groups.
Yep, by far.
Yeah. So, you're right. You bring up a good point, Charles. Photos, could be a little deceiving. But if you're the seller, you want to build a reputation for yourself, for whenever you do sell, even if it's kind of rare. And people are going to remember your name, and they're going to remember who they bought something from if it's really, really different than it was described.
I always just feel like the item is going to sell itself. You don't need to over describe. You don't need to put 75 different emojis of fireballs and arrows and check marks and all these like ridiculous things, dollar signs and laughing faces, like stupid things. Like, dude, just list the item, and if it sells, it sells. Like, leave all the other bullshit out of it.
John loves to put 100 fires or explosions.
Yes.
I like to put specific emojis that are
John
sensitive
screaming
to what it is.
John screaming at you for sale.
Yes, yeah. And on the other side of the spectrum, Chris types everything in capital letters, no emojis. He posts every sale item like he's 87 years of age and just learned how to use a keyboard.
Luke Skywalker, $20.
I think I saw something the other day where he said, if you want to buy this hunk of crap, it's $80.
I did. Because I was basically selling mocks, and you have to describe each mock. And I was on the 15th mock out of the 16 that I had. And I just looked at this thing and I'm like, honestly, this thing is a pile. There's nothing is going to sell this thing by saying. So I literally wrote piece of crap, figure, piece of crap, card, piece of crap, $80. And it got claimed in 3 seconds.
There you go. There you go.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is a piece of crap. So.
All right. So, guys, what else do we see? What else do you see in the groups that, falls into how to conduct yourself, the etiquette to use when you're in a community of like-minded people, like, similar hobby? How do you want to treat people? What do you see going on?
It would just be nice to see people know the limits of what you should say, could say, or, it's like, everyone loves to bring politics into something. Politics has nothing to do with Star Wars hobby, nothing. But it seems to get brought into it a lot.
Right, and like John always says, we're a toy podcast, so it's not only Star Wars. There's plenty of collector groups out there, and we hear we're not big in Transformer groups or certain other lines, and we have people tell us like, oh, you think vintage Star Wars is bad? You should see what goes on in this other group. Now that largely has a lot to do with who's running the group and what kind of atmosphere they're comfortable with having in their group. Breaker 19, come in.
You can't have the inmates run the jail,
right?
No.
You have to have the officers run the jail.
I will throw a shout out to to the group where we had our home base, where we met. The IC, say what you want. There might be people that are upset that they censor a little bit too much with posts or whatever. I love it. If it's something that they feel is inappropriate, out of there.
Yeah.
Don't even let me see it. I'm fine with that.
Yep, I actually agree. I know a lot of people don't like the group. They have a lot of bad things to say about the group or the people in general. I think they run it absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a problem, it gets deleted in minutes.
It's taken care of, yeah.
Whenever there's a listing and it goes sideways, there's a warning already. And you know what? That's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because
sadly, like, you need to do that.
Yeah.
That many people out there that are just rogue warriors.
We're not saying that we want it to be that way. It needs to be that way. Like, I would like to see a little bit more flexibility, but as we all know, you can't do that. You
Yeah.
can't, unfortunately, because
We had an
people don't
experience.
know.
We had an experience of that sort of thing where they're like these rogue warriors or whatever. Last week, somebody ordered a Micro Machines Action Fleet Slave 1. I accidentally sent a Micro Galaxy Squadron Slave 1 instead. They're both the same price. They're both the same price, right? And they're both Slave 1. They both start with Micro. It was 12 o'clock here, whatever. I packed it up. I sent it off. The guy gave us a 1-star review and said, "I'll never buy from the vault ever again." Didn't contact us until an hour after he left the review. I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you
don't
gotta
understand it.
contact especially if it's a small business, a local
So, John,
business.
I'm
Yeah,
ordering a
contact
car from Carvana, right? I'm ordering a 2022 Honda Pilot. Come rolling in 2009 Chevy pickup truck. Shane's in there. He's drinking Coors Light. He's throwing them out, and he's throwing them out of the window. I'm going to leave a 1-star review. Awesome.
Yeah, it's Carvana for one.
For me, I could tell you that I just sold some figures last week on the page, and I've been doing so many sales, and like John said, sometimes I'm packing, it's late at night. Sometimes I'm packing during the day. I got the kids yelling and screaming at me. I'm not paying 100% focus into when I'm packing. And it was Mark Rosenberg, thankfully, because he's a friend of all of ours, and he bought a figure from me, and I forgot to pack the accessory with the figure. So he messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, man, like, not a big deal, but like, you didn't put the accessory in it." And I was just like right away, like, I knew he was right.
Yeah.
I still said, like, really, like, it wasn't in there, and right away, I'm just like, you know what, like, I forgot it.
But his first instinct wasn't to go on Facebook and
Oh
post about it.
no, of course not. No,
He
but
left a 1-star review.
but
Because he messaged me, and he 1-star reviewed Chris.
I'll be quiet.
But
So
the thing is, it's like, be a human being. Reach out to that person and say, "Hey, man, I got this wrong. You sent me the wrong thing," instead of going on a tirade on Facebook and posting about that person or that company or whatever, or giving them a 1-star review,
But
without contacting them first.
all that will happen. There's not a company or like a person who's going to be 100% perfect.
no,
Right?
No.
Like,
and
you're going to get some kind of negative, feedback.
like I told him, like, I refunded him, and I told him, I was like, it makes me feel so knowing that I screwed up, and it wasn't a big deal. It was to like a guy that we're all friends with, and he was totally cool about it. But it like kills me to know that like I screwed up, because this is my job, this is my business, and I ship out so many packages daily and weekly, and you never want to know that, like, if and when you screw up.
You're fired. You're fired. Yeah, I hear you. And I kind of had the reverse happen to me. I have somebody who is very nice and interested in the custom figures when I do them. And he bought a handful at one point a month or two ago. And the day after I put them in the mail, I like realized I left one out. And I was like, I know he's going to be upset because he's, it was excited to get them and blah, blah, blah. And so, I reached right out to him and said, like, forgive me. It's sitting right here next to me. But so that's kind of the reverse. But give everybody a chance. Give everybody the benefit of the doubt and reach out to them. Especially, eBay is a different. That's a marketplace. But if you're dealing with somebody directly on Facebook, for example, give them the benefit of the doubt. Reach out to them. Don't blow them up in public before you even reach out to them. And that's a good suggestion. And there are people, unfortunately, that are scammers that are out there. There are also people that were, did have a good reputation and somehow goes off the rails somewhere. But give everybody a chance to make something right if there's a mistake that's made. I think that's fair. Everybody's human, and if somebody like Chris, who does do a lot of selling, there's quite a few people there. There's a chance they might switch up an item or an accessory that they're going to make it right for you 99% of the time. I think 95% of the time.
I mean, and that's all the guy had to do is email us. I'll be like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. One's coming out to you right now."
John probably would have said, "Keep the slave one. Here's another slave one, and when you come into the store, I'm going to sell you another slave one for free."
Yeah. Well, it was in Texas. The guy got it from Texas, and I actually said, I was trying. It took me 2 hours to type the email.
What was his name?
I'll tell you off the air. It wasn't. I don't know if it's in any of our groups.
Okay.
But I'll tell you off the air. But
was it Jameson Graybill?
It wasn't Jameson Graybill.
He lives in Tennessee.
I know. I'm kidding.
But they sent us the email. The guy sent us the email. Or did the 5-star? Did the 1-star review first.
And then complained.
And then let's see. Here we go. All right, I've got the email right here. Hello, my name is Peter the Slave One. This is after the 1-star review. With Boba Fett, blah blah blah. I said it took me 2 hours. Like I said, it took me 2 hours to write this without going off on him. So we apologize for the confusion and that the Micro Galaxy Squadron Slave 1 was sent by mistake instead of the Micro Machines Action Fleet Slave 1. We strive to make sure every order is correct and mistakes do happen. We are humans after all, and a small family-run business. Each item we ship comes straight from our floor to your door, and one of us mistook the Micro Galaxy for Micro Machine. Please accept our apology for this error, and please keep the Micro Galaxy Slave 1. I'm sure they'll look fantastic displayed together.
Wow. You gave it to him?
And you shipped him the other one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the sad part about it is that he already left you a 1-star review.
Yeah. And we're gonna respond to the 1-star review for sure.
They always say the first impression is the most important, John. So
Now
I know he's named the wrong one.
Now I know how to really get you. I am going to place an order, and I am going to 1-star your ass.
I don't know if you know how the internet works, Charles, but you can give him a 1-star review without purchasing anything.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if it's on his website or what, but please do not do that, folks. No, give everybody a chance. Especially if you're dealing with a small business, when you're dealing with a toy shop, a variety shop. I mean, these are small businesses, guys. These toy shops that are out there, you're not talking about, listen, what are the toy stores that are out there now? Walmart and Target. We don't even have Toys R Us anymore, or Child World, or any of that old school stuff. So if you're not dealing with, a huge multi-billion-dollar company and it's a small toy store, give them a chance to help you out, make it right if they make a mistake. They're living and dying with at their sales every month. So give them a break. But all right, guys. I mean, anything else you could think of in the group that you would suggest to folks who are either newer collectors or not in the groups as much as some other folks and might not be aware of what goes on every day? Jump in. I'm going to remind everybody to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5 Idiots Talking Toys.com will also get you to our website, and you can check out all of our links there, our socials to Instagram, TikTok.
We have a TikTok?
We have a Twitter too, but we only post stuff there occasionally. But we are active on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, and all that. So
are we gonna get on Threads?
What is that?
That's the new one?
That's the new one.
Oh God.
I signed up the first day and I haven't been back since.
Whoever says it does it.
Oh,
that's correct.
I can't even pronounce that word.
Shane already said he signed us up.
No, I signed myself up. It's Threads is the new Twitter competitor by Facebook. So you use like your Instagram login.
Oh, so it's Facebook.
It's owned by Meta, yeah. So it's they're going to go after Elon Musk and Twitter now with Threads, and there are some different features, but I don't know exactly what they are. But
good luck.
Yeah, you know what? For our kind of content, Twitter is not where we live because we're not news and like to the minute sport news and things like that. We're not trying to feed stuff out in real time. So we're spreading our love through, Instagram and Facebook and YouTube shorts and everything. Brandon is constantly at conventions, toy shows, toy stores, massage, like spas. He's getting like cucumbers on his eyes, and he'll take you around for a tour of his whole life.
So much content, but his microphone does not work, and his camera is from 1979 from Star Wars. So
Exactly.
we can't hear
It's
or
grainy.
even see him or even speak to him. So
Brandon sounds like he's from World War II with a German backpack with a microphone on the back underwater calling for backup. Like no one hears anything he's saying.
He's in a U-boat with a microphone.
I'm in a U-boat that was designed by the Wild Ministers.
no clue who that is, because that's not how you say my last name.
Yeah.
The Wild Minsters.
Ministers.
The Wild Ministers.
The Wild Ministers.
Yeah.
What does Wildminster mean anyway?
What does Wildminster mean?
U-boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means U-boat. There's a town in northern Germany. I think it's called Wildmunster. I think it's Weilmunster.
Yeah.
So there's one kind of like our last name.
Oh,
okay.
That's like the German way of spelling it, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Anybody else have anything to throw out there as we?
I was going to say one more.
Yeah, go for it.
When I see people doing like a claim sale, so they'll list an item and they'll say $300, claim, and then someone within 5 minutes will just write in the comment section, $225 shipped ?
Oh god.
That there's a couple of those guys out there who do it on a multiple times a day basis, and you guys know who I'm talking about, I think.
Yep.
It drives me mental because for a lot of people that are watching, you know what Deal or No Deal is. Basically, you're putting an item up and you're saying make a bid, and I'll either accept it or deny it. Okay, so they're looking for bids, but there are guys out there who will place bids on listings that are not open for bid.
Yeah,
they're listing something. Claim this item for $400. I mean, that's kind of extreme. Claim this item for whatever, and somebody will comment $175. Like, what's $175? He's not looking for bids. This is not an auction.
Whenever I see it happen, I always say to myself, please just don't even respond to it.
I know. I want to respond.
I always tell the guy, just don't even respond. Just let it sit, and then let someone claim it 20 minutes later, and then you just turn off the comments and just let them go.
I want to respond, and it's not even my post, and I have to stop myself every time.
I know. Same here.
So you should only do that if it says, hey, or I'll take offers too.
Yes.
OBO.
And even if the item has been sitting for over 24 hours and they listed it for $300, I don't know, maybe you want to make an offer, maybe you message the guy and say, hey, $250, but let the item sit. When people are doing this after like an hour or 15 minutes or whatever, it's just like, dude, the guy just listed the item. Like, why are you making offers already?
And let's be clear. I mean, try to use some common sense. If somebody lists an item for $300, you think he's going to accept that? So, if he lists it for 300, like, make a respectable offer. He's looking for 300. Offer, like you said.
How are we top 10 podcast? We have a guy on the bottom. His camera and microphone doesn't worth a shit. We have a guy in the top left. The guy, his computer restarted or something. It was like,
your computer just froze for 10 seconds, and it sounded like you were printing out papers out of a fax machine.
There's only three.
You guys heard that, right? It was like a fax
have
machine going off.
Actual internet, like we pay the bill and it works.
I never lost any of you, and I everything was still in motion the whole time.
You are as clear as a microscope. I can see I can count the hairs on your lip right now. But your screen froze for about 10 seconds.
I don't know what to tell you. What my point was, if somebody's listing something for $300, don't offer them 125. Be realistic and stop wasting everybody's time. What universe do you think he's going to accept that?
Unless you're a certain individual or two who loves to list items 25% over what retail market is, because there are a couple of guys who actually do that.
Yeah.
Then it's just like, all right, like, realistically,
then it's
this
okay.
item is only $200 and this guy is selling it for $300. Like, let's just be serious.
Yeah, but the guy is not. The point is the guy's not going to accept that. He's high. He's high.
Oh,
he's not.
yeah.
He's not going to all of a sudden get real because you.
I'm not saying. Yeah,
commented.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let's wrap it. Folks, thanks very much for joining this episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We appreciate you watching,
Thanks for joining us,
subscribing, liking the video.
Thanks for having me on, Shane.
And
He
please
wasn't there.
comment if you thought
Wasn't
Brandon was the best part of the episode. He had some great input, and and we'll see you again next time. We have our Wednesday episodes every Wednesday, wins and whiffs of the week, and we're here every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern time with a new episode. But you can watch or listen on demand on your favorite podcast app or here on YouTube. We'll see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Bye-bye.